And we're back! Greetings and welcome to the 6th episode of Big Bad Bat Reps. We are in the final week of the campaign at my local gaming store. Um, there will be no sudden death ending as no one's threatening the final good capital, so this is going to come down to tile count. Evil's up by quite a bit. We got 6 games going tonight. I think the good side needs to win 5 to win. So I ended up playing Dan. He's got a high elf army here. Dan is a pretty experienced 40k player, but as I mentioned in some of my other videos, this campaign has brought out quite a few new players to the fantasy scene at my store, which is really, really cool. It's always great to get new games in, kind of teach people the ropes. Like I said, Dan is pretty new at fantasy, but we'll see how this game goes. Should be entertaining. Going over the lists, I made a couple tweaks to mine. I still am running the level 4 Great Bray, Fencer's Blades, Ward Save, Dispel Scroll, my 1-up rerollable armor BSB, 5 Tuskor Chariots, 4 times 6 Ungor Raiders this turn. I'm going to actually try to ambush 2 of them. 33 Bestigor, full command, standard of discipline, 3 Razor Gores, 6 Harpies with Scout, and a Ghorgon. Dan's running a level 4 Archmage, high magic. He's got the Book of Hoth, the Stubborn Crown on a Steed, Noble BSB with Razor Banner, and another Noble that's mounted up. He's got 9 Silver Helms. The non-BSB is in that one. 5 Silver Helms with full command, 5 Reavers. Then he's got a unit of 10 Dragon Princes. Banner of the World Dragon. The champion is equipped with a Starlance Enchanted Shield, a White Lion Chariot, a Flame Spire Phoenix, and a Frostheart Phoenix. For deployment, on his left flank, on my far right, he's got the unit of 5 Reavers, the 5 Silver Helms there with full command, his Dragon Prince bus, which has the Archmage and the BSB in it. He's running them 4x3 here, trying to max those attacks, and the Flame Spire Phoenix. Center and his left flank, he's got his White Lion Chariot, which is kind of neatly converted with some white lions riding lions. I think it looks pretty cool. Then he's got his unit of 9 Silver Helms with a Noble in there. He's got, I don't remember what he had, but yeah, he's all right. And then we got the Frostheart Phoenix. Boo. Beastmen deployment. You can see I scouted those Harpies there, kind of hopefully to get in a chaffy position. They're out of the charge arc of the Frostheart. I got a Razor Gore on my far left flank, some Ungor Raiders, 2 Chariots, my block of Bestigor. I got rid of one of the blocks that I'd been running because I wanted to run a Ghorgon for fun. Thought that'd be a blast. Another Razor Gore, the Ghorgon, and 2 Chariots. All the terrain you see here is mundane. That little block thing in front of the Ghorgon is difficult terrain, and the little stone hut there is a 1-level building there in front of the Frostheart. And my other side deployment is 2 more Chariots, a unit of Ungor Raiders, a Razor Gore, and then I have a Chariot on my far right flank there, hopefully to sneak through that little crevice. I'm holding 2 units of Ungor Raiders in ambush. I don't know why, just it was the last game of the campaign and I wanted to have some fun. I don't think they'll have an impact on the game, but we'll see what happens. My plan here in this game, he's got the 2 Phoenixes and pretty much all cav. He doesn't have much shooting save the bows on the Reavers, so I should be safe from that. So I'm going to set up my angles, play the range game, hopefully use some chaff, a Razor Gore, or something to get some juicy charges in. Combo charges are the best. For magic, I roll up Wissen's Wild Form, Curse of Anra here, Amber Spear again. Hopefully I can take out one of those chickens, and Savage Beast of Horos. Dan's running high magic. He's got Drain Magic, Apotheosis, Tempest, and Arcane Unforging. Not the best selection of spells here. I mean, you have to roll for them randomly. As a high elf player myself, I've never been that fond of high magic. It just seems counterintuitive to me, especially in a cav type list. A lot of the spells are direct damage. The lore attribute gives you +1 to your ward save, but you want to be in combat with the ward save and the direct damage thing. It's kind of counterintuitive to me. I do have to be wary though of arcane unforging, as that will strip some, my magic items off my guys and do wounds with no armor save. So that's kind of a threat to my BSB. Um, and apotheosis to probably keep those chickens alive is also something to look out for. Dan gets first turn and is very aggressive. He flies those chickens right up in my face. I don't know how smart of an idea that is. You can see the Flamespire Phoenix is staring down two chariots and a Ghorgon, and the Frostheart is also looking at two chariots, and there's a Razor Gore off screen there. But I think he's counting on them to just kind of tar pit those units or chariots. If the chariots don't do well, they could get tar pitted and get countercharged. We'll see how that goes. Here's another look, a little bit of a blurry photo, another look of the my left flank and the possible charges on that Frostheart. Magic is 7 to 6. He starts out and he throws one dice at Apotheosis. I guess for the only reason would be to bump up the ward save on those Dragon Princes. He rolls a 2. He's got Book of Hoof. He re-rolls it and rolls another 2. That fails to cast and shuts down his magic phase. He could have had some other stuff going on there. I think he was going to ramp up the ward save on those Dragon Princes for the next turn. It just didn't pan out for him. We talked about it, and he, said that it would have been a smarter idea to roll a couple dice and make sure those get off. Shooting phase, the Reavers on his flank shoot a couple shots at a chariot and don't do anything. So we're on to Beastman turn 1. He gave me these charges that I really didn't even need to roll dice for, so I charged the two chariots and the Razor Gore into the Frostheart. Hopefully I can get some big impact hits and do some damage. On my right flank, I also charged the Ghorgon and two chariots into the Flamespire. Hopefully I can make paste out of that. Again, he just gave me these charges. I'm thinking he's hoping that those Phoenixes can hold out for a turn and maybe get some counter charge action in. But I don't see this Flamespire living through this. We'll see how it goes. And the charges continue. My chariot that was on the far right flank charges into the Reavers. He elects to hold or stand and shoot or something. I get into them easily, needing like a 1 or a 2, just, conceded charges. And you can also see that unit of Silver Helms is lined up really juicy there for an overrun. That was poor positioning on Dan's part. And not to be outdone, the Harpies charge into the flanks of the Silver Helms. I've been running this Harpy unit a lot. They seem to be charging into a lot of stuff that they're not going to do anything to. Elves especially go first. I'm in the flank here. Hopefully I'm not getting too many attacks back. I was hoping to kind of clog him up and maybe hold him up for a turn, but he's got armor and I'm strength 3. I think it was a bad decision. I would have been better off redirecting, but we'll see how it pans out. And a look at the rest of my movement. The Bestigor herd moves up a little bit. The Ungors move up a little bit there on the right. The Razor Gores come in to kind of make a little sandwich, give them some options, charging, redirect stuff, or some charge options for later turns. Magic is 4 to 4. He ends up channeling 1. I do get Curse of Anrahir off on that Frost Phoenix, which could help. Here's another shot of the combats going on the left side and a little extra movement there. Those Ungors move up to hopefully get in a position to maybe chaff up those Silver Helms should the Harpies do anything worthwhile. Not too much going on there, but you can see those two chariots and the Razor Gore get in on that Frost Phoenix. Ambushers come in. My Ungor Raiders come in on my left flank, completely away from the action, out of range of any bows. There's nothing really to shoot at anyways. The other one loses the scent. Spoiler alert here, I totally forget to even roll for my other ambushers the entire rest of the game. It was something, if you're trying new rules or new things for an army, it's really hard to remember what's going on. But there they are. Combat on the right side, that chariot blows right through those reavers with impact hits, and he doesn't do anything to me. Um, I overrun into those silver helms. Again, pretty bad positioning. Dan, if you're watching, hopefully you learn a little something from that. Kind of gave me that unit for free. Flaming Chicken combat goes about as planned. Between impact hits, the Ghorgon actually hits with all 7 of his attacks. He's got 6 base and frenzy. Um, yeah, he hits with all of them, and I mean he's wounded on 3s. That chicken's paced. You can see the little flame marker there. Um, he gets to roll on a table and see if he comes back to life on a 6 in future turns. I overrun. I get that choppy overrun thing with my chariots. Hopefully that helps me out. I was trying to get into those dragon princes because impact hits are good against high elves. Harpy combat goes as expected. He makes way with his noble, kills 3 of them. I actually end up killing 1. Fortunately, I got a charge, a flank, and a wound for 3. He did 3 wounds, and he's got a banner, so he wins by 1. Harpies have shit leadership, and they flee. They flee into the forest there. That one guy in the back is just there because it was kind of tippy. He didn't take a wound, but there's 3 of them there, and they're fleeing. I failed to get a photo of the combat between the Frostheart Phoenix and the 2 chariots and the Razor Gore, but I do 10 impact hits um, on that thing with my 2 chariots. I'm -1 strength, so I need 6s to wound, but I roll 4 6s, and 3 of them get through. He does a couple wounds to the Razor Gore and a chariot. I win by quite a bit here, but he sticks. High Elf turn 2, he charges the Dragon Prince bus into that center chariot. Um, he can fit there pretty well. We'll see how that goes. He'll probably overrun into my Ghorgon. I'm totally okay with him overrunning into my Ghorgon. It actually worked out kind of nice because if you can remember, well, you can see the Razor Gore is right there, and I have a Razor Gore on my other flank, or on the right of that picture that you can't see. Ghorgon likes to be in combat. There's no magical attacks over there with that Banner of the World Dragon, so it could be a good situation for me. We'll see. And not needing too high of rolls, he declares charges with his Silver Helms and White Lion Chariot into my Bestigor. I'm not feeling outrageous about this, but I'm not feeling too bad about it either. I think it's gonna come down to dice. I know I'm definitely gonna be steadfast, and if I can make that hold, I can hopefully beat him up in later rounds. Magic is 9 to 5. He's getting +5 to cast high magic because of Lilia's Blessing. That's +1 to cast for high magic or high elf casters casting high magic. He's just kind of throwing a couple dice at some things, and he gets 2 spells off. I don't remember which ones they were. None of them were of that great of importance. But his Dragon Prince bust now has a 4-up ward save as a result. The Reavers are dead, so there's no shooting. We go into combat. The Frostheart kills the. He's got Curse of Anner here on him from last turn. He kills the Razor Gore, and the Chariots stick, but don't do any more wounds. He's sitting on 2 wounds, and I can't finish him off. I cannot roll a 6 to wound to save my life, and I'm at -1 strength. Bit of a blurry photo here. This is another look, or this is a look at the combat in the center, the Silver Helms and the Bestigor with the Lion Chariot. He's strength 5 on the charge. He's got some impact hits. He doesn't do that much. He does peel off my back rank of 5. He does 1 wound to my Great Bray and 1 wound to my BSB, which is in a challenge with his unit champ. I kill 4 Silver Helms in return. I lose this one by a couple, but I stick because I'm steadfast. The chariot that had overrun into the Silver Helms on the right flank does a couple impact hits. Between impact hits, great weapon, Bestigor on the back, and the strength 4 Tuskgors, and the guy with spear, I kill 3 of him, and he breaks and I run him down. A little look here. You might remember that Flamespire Phoenix died in a prior turn. The Ghorgon made paste out of him, but he rolls a 6 on his thing and comes back to life with, I think, 3 wounds. Dan played my buddy Alan last week, and this freaking Flamespire Phoenix came back to life twice in that game. It's, I don't know, it's pretty ridiculous here, but now I got a Flamespire Phoenix behind me. Um, the Razor Gores do that sandwich flank thing, and the chariot there that was on the side has a juicy flank charge on the Dragon Princes. They do count as charging because they overran into the Gorgon last turn, so they're still striking at strength 5 with a lot of attacks. But hopefully I can weather this. Here's a picture of the Gorgon, which I got a little bit of paint on yesterday before I went into the gaming thing. I wanted to bring them along for fun. Definitely, I don't think super competitive, running only one, but it's super cool model and kind of fun. And I wanted to add fun my last game, so I brought him in. You can see Dan's standard there on his BSB. Pretty hilarious. He loves that guy. I forget what he's called, like the Burninator or something. Um, Dan's got a pretty good sense of humor and likes to put cool stuff on his armies and characters. It's kind of fun. Magic is 11 to 6. We each channel one, 12 to 7. Big phase for me. I throw some at Wissens on the Bestigor block. He dispels it. I throw 6 at a boosted Savage Beast to get some super killing power and rock those guys. I roll a 27. Dan's got 3 dice left and rolls 2 sixes to dispel. Those sixes, man. Combat with the chariots and the frozen chicken. He does some wounds to me. I still can't get it done against him. I lose combat by like 1 or 2. He nicks some wounds here and there. One of my chariots fails. It's I think he needed a 7 with the reroll there, and he fails, and he's getting out of there. Not looking good over there. I need to get rid of those silver helms in the chariot, or else I'm looking at a chicken in the flank, and that's not good. You can also see top left barely. Those harpies rallied. I don't. They got again just crap leadership out there, and they get back into the fight, even though they're not going to do anything. All my little units of Ungor are just really not doing anything. The one I forgot to bring in on ambush, and they're just kind of skating around, staying out of trouble. Big combat in the middle with the Dragon Princes, 2 Razor Gores, Chariot, and Ghorgon. Remember, he still counts as charging, so he's strength 5. He's got, those attacks and rerolls. He puts a couple wounds on a Razor Gore on the one side, a wound on the other one, a wound on a Chariot. I think he puts a wound on the Ghorgon, too. Um, I kill a bunch of guys as well. I can't remember the result of this. I think he actually wins combat by 1 here. Um, the Ghorgon is he's a leadership 10, and the Dauburn he sticks. Everything else hangs out here. Pretty lucky. The Razor Gores I think are out. They're within range of the BSB, and everything sticks there, so it's good. But the Ghorgon does not have frenzy anymore. Combat with the Bestigor block, the Silver Helms, and the Lion Chariot. He does a couple more wounds there. He does 3 wounds to me from his White Lions and the lions on the thing. I go to town on him. I'm kind of ignoring the White Lion Chariot. I don't have enough attacks there to get rid of it. I know that it is stubborn, so I don't think I'm going to kill it outright. So I dump my attacks into the Silver Helms. I kill them down to the Standard Bearer there, and he fails his test and just dies because he's the Standard Bearer. So he's removed as a casualty, and it's me and the Lion Chariot. He passes his leadership 9 stubborn with a reroll, and I'm going to do a combat reform here. So I go into a horde formation to get more attacks on that chariot, try to take it out in his turn. The Frost or the Flamespire Phoenix that sprung back to life with 3 wounds charges the flank of my Bestigor. Aerial shot of the goings-ons here. You can see my Harpies and Ungors are just kind of staying out of the fray. the chariot that on the right top corner there killed the silver helms. That reformed and moved up to hopefully get a rear charge on that Dragon Prince boss should they survive. Just kind of everything's in combat here. There's really no movement, no shooting, and the game is moving along at a really good pace. Magic is 3 to 2. That makes his Phoenix's -1 strength. That helps out a little bit. The chariot there is still playing patty cake. We'll see what happens there. And the Phoenix, you can see the base there is in the flank, and the Lion Chariot is into the front, and we still have the big combat going on there with the Dragon Princes. He fails to get any spells off. Yeah, have I, I use my dispel scroll in this phase, and it just kind of works out. He doesn't get anything off. Um, the Frostheart Phoenix dispatches that final chariot. Nothing's within 6 inches. I'm pretty careful with that, so nothing, those Ungors and everything's safe. The combat in the with the Bestigors. He's strength 4 with his flame spire. Not too much going on there. He doesn't really kill much of anything. Um, I kill the Lion Chariot outright with all my attacks, and I think I put a wound on the flame spire. I don't remember here, but he sticks with he's got the general and the BSB up there, so he sticks. I reform my Bestigor again, having won that combat, and the chariot's dead. In the combat up top, you can see that's about to get going here, and I go to town on these guys. He's now strength 3, doesn't manage to do much of anything. Yeah, I go to town on this unit. I kill a bunch of Dragon Princes with the Ghorgon and whatnot. Then my chariot, because of removal of models, his Crown of Command Archmage there is free for the pickings. And between Razorgore and Chariot, I kill him. He doesn't really have any real protection, and he dies. This is what it looks like after that combat. Don't mind that 4 there by the Razorgore. He's got 1 wound left. Both my Razorgores have 1 wound left, and the Chariot too. Ghorgon didn't take any wounds. We break him here. He's not got the Crown of Command anymore. He just couldn't get any wounds at strength 3, even with massive reroll action and whatnot. I just got toughness. I mean, the Razorgores are toughness 5. The Ghorgon's toughness 6. The Chariot's toughness 4. I mean, he's wounded on 5s and 6s and can't get it done. He breaks. We randomize which direction he breaks. There's 4 single units there, the 2 Razorgore, Chariot, and Ghorgon. We just roll dice. He flees from the Razorgore on the left. I pursue with the Chariot and the Razorgore. They're both swift stride. A neat little thing I've been doing with these Beastmen here is that the army doesn't look that scary, but I got all these little missiles between the Razorgore and the Chariots. And if I can get combo charges in, which I've been doing a pretty good job of in this campaign, I can really put the hurt on. And then with Swift Stride from the Razorgores and the Chariots, it can be pretty good at helping run things down. It works here. I run them down. The Gorgon's no longer frenzied, so he reforms and the Razorgore reforms, and we're looking to go after that Flamespire. So my turn, having overrun, I got a good look at that Frostheart, so I charge my Chariot and my Razorgore. They each only have 1 wound. The dies are removed there, but they only have 1 wound left. I'm hoping to keep them out of my Bestigors, and hoping impact hits can take them out here. Magic is 6 to 4. He doesn't have a mage anymore. I do get Curse of Anra here off on that chicken, should he survive impact hits and whatnot. Hopefully he'll have a hard time getting one of those wounds off. Remember, each of those only have 1 wound, but I'm trying to kill that thing. These Frostheart Phoenixes are they're just tough. They're toughness 6. They got the Blizzard Aura, which gives everything in base contact with them -1 strength and always strikes last. I think they're better served as a support unit than as a standalone tar pit, because by themselves they just don't get the damage done. And the combo charge theme continues down here. Ghorgon, Razor Gore, and Chariot all into that Flamespire Phoenix. He only has 3 wounds, um, so it's not looking good for him. But yeah, the combo charges, it's kind of what makes this army tick. It's really, really cool. And I've been having a lot of luck in the campaign. Combat, you can see that Flamespire Phoenix gets made into paste. Just it's dead. There's just too much stuff there between impact hits, Strength 6 Razor Gore, Chariot, Gorgon, Great Weapon Bestigore stuff. It's bad and it's totally toast. I reform my Bestigore to face the Phoenix in case that thing survives. That's the only thing left on the table for him. We do that combat next. I roll a 6 for impact hits, roll a couple 6s to wound, and he fails his armor and ward, and I kill the chicken. Tabling Dan. And that's the end of the game. So recap, big win for the Beastmen here. I took the I was He's got all Cav and Phoenixes, and it could have been a real pain in the butt. I think Dan was a little too aggressive at the beginning. He gave me great charges on those chickens. They're way more maneuverable than my stuff. He could have been doing a better job at picking his fights. On the right flank with the Reavers with the Silver Helms behind him, he gave me that too. And then I mean, it was just I had more stuff than him, and it ended up working out. Campaign's done. That's cool. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. Bust out some high elves or vampire counts. I can tell you though that I've kind of started to fall in love with these beastmen. I'm getting a little paint on them, and they're fun. The campaign was a blast as well. Evil ends up taking it, but we got a lot more players down at our game store involved in fantasy, which is always the plan. More games, more people, more fun. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.